On the evening of October 1st, 2017, Stephen Paddock used bump stocks on his weapons as he shot down onto the Route 91 Country Music Festival from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. We will be showing a graphic video showing the shooting as it happened. Your discretion is advised.
Stephen Paddock killed 58 people and injured 851 more. Those who were not injured will forever be emotionally scarred and also experience post-traumatic stress disorder. The whole nation was shocked by this massacre. Here's a group of different people from different backgrounds saying the words they would use to describe the shooting.
What words would you use to describe the Las Vegas shooting?
Tragic. Horrific.
I would say that the Las Vegas shooting has a lot of questions that are left unanswered, a lot of mystery, and a lot of conspiracy.
To describe the Las Vegas shooting, I have to say that it's pretty disgusting and pretty wild. I mean, it's kind of expected because nothing's really changed, but it's kind of unbelievable that something like this would happen and that we've let it happen.
Disgusting. An act of terrorism. Those are the words that I would use to describe the Las Vegas shooting.
The word I would use describing the Las Vegas shooting is scary because you never know when it's going to happen or where it's going to be.
I would describe the Las Vegas shooting as terrible and sad and a tragic event.
I think the Las Vegas shooting was awful. You know, I didn't think people had to be worried about getting hurt at a country concert, but people lost their lives that day, and it's just awful to think about.
I would say the Las Vegas shooting is terrifying. Just a man can sit in a hotel room and gun down 50 plus people before like our eyes, basically. It took like no time, and it's just scary.
I think of it as like tragic and heartbreaking just to think that many people died.
Not everyone reacted this way, though. Politicians with their own personal agendas for gun control spoke up on social media in ways that were more apathetic than sympathetic. People went from warmest condolences to horrible responses, where people said things such as praying that only Trump-tards died, and that it was community outreach because it was white people shooting white people, and it was a country music concert. People weren't only rude in their responses. They started shifting the conversation to just gun control, and started pointing their fingers when Stephen Paddock was the only one truly responsible for the loss of lives. For example, Hillary Clinton pointed her finger at the NRA. It wasn't the right time to talk politics, but nonetheless, that is our world nowadays. The NRA made a statement about the shooting. In their statement, they spoke up on bump stocks, which were fitted onto at least a dozen of the 23 firearms Stephen Paddock had in his hotel room. The National Rifle Association's Wayne LaPierre and Chris W. Cox made it clear that they wanted the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, or ATF, to look at the gun accessories again in an effort to avoid any further legislation on guns on Capitol Hill. It is clear that the NRA has a strong political influence in our government. They have control over those who they support in both numbers and financially. They traditionally support members of the Republican political party. This support has put politicians in a tricky place as they are trying to get momentum on Capitol Hill to ban bump stocks. They want to keep the support that the NRA gives them for future re-elections, but they also want to help those people who are concerned for their safety and are scared of bump stocks. No matter how much of this is turned into politics, the reality is that we live in a world where a man can take 23 guns into a hotel room and shoot so many people. It is truly a horrible world that we live in, where so many people can be injured just from going to a concert that they enjoy.
Because mass shootings are occurring very frequently, it is important to put restrictions on gun ownership for people who shouldn't exactly be owners of firearms to reduce mass shootings and their occurrence. The shift from the number of fatalities regarding recent mass shootings compared to mass shootings in America's later history greatly reflects gun laws and gun control and how they should be maintained.
We can all agree that the Las Vegas shooting shouldn't have happened. The problem is that people aren't working together. The divide between anti-gun and pro-gun people and Democrats and Republicans has to decrease in order to make our world safer. The United States has the highest population of firearm owners, and due to this fact, it is impossible for the government to know what the intentions of the firearm buyer are. There's no way to tell if someone has evil plans.
Even Stephen Paddock's brother Eric had no clue that his brother was capable of doing such a thing and taking so many lives.
There's absolutely no, it's like an asteroid fell out of the sky. If an asteroid fell right here, you would feel the exact same way as I feel right now. There's exactly no logic, no reach even for me, where my brother would have done this. There's no freaking...
Even though we can't know the intentions of a gun buyer, we can make it harder for them to have such high rates of fatalities in a mass shooting. One of the ways that we can do that is by making bump stocks illegal. Bump stocks are gun accessories that allow semi-automatic weapons to mimic an automatic weapon. Automatic weapons have been banned in the United States since 1935. The way a bump stock works is as the gun recoils, the stock pulls back the trigger again and again, allowing for 800 rounds a minute to be fired.
So in essence what happens is the gun moves back and forth in the stock. Every time the gun fires, it recoils back a little bit into the stock itself, comes back forward, and because you have your finger set in one key position, then it fires like that.
Know that Stephen Paddock used these bump stocks, and knowing that isn't going to let us go back in time and stop him from using them. However, if we are able to ban them, we are able to create an environment where not as many people may be killed if an event like this happens again in the future.
We live in a scary world. We live in a world where a single man can sit in his hotel room where he had 23 guns that were able to perform at speeds near to fully automatic weapons. We live in a country where a man was able to legally purchase this many firearms and bump stocks, which allowed him to kill and injure so many people.
58 people were killed at the Las Vegas massacre. 36 women and 22 men lost their lives. Men and women from both Canada and America never will be able to tell their loved ones, "I love you," one more time. They will never again smile or laugh. They will never again be able to hear the music that they went to the concert for, that they died at. They will never again breathe another breath. And that is not okay. It's not okay that so many innocent lives were taken. It is not okay that people are living in fear of this happening again. Whether you are pro-gun or anti-gun, I feel like we can all agree that we are not okay with what happened at the Las Vegas shooting.
Even though not everyone in this country is a fan of President Donald J. Trump, he is making steps towards stricter gun control. On February 19, 2018, he made a statement that called for the banning of bump stocks. The shootings that have become part of our lives should not be happening. People shouldn't have to fear for their lives as they go to a concert or even school. Regardless of your personal stance on gun control, I think we can all agree that this is wrong and something in our country needs to change.
Gun control is a large issue in the United States. If we want to see change in our lifetime, something needs to be done. In order to see change, though, we all have to work together. Working together is essential for preventing massacres such as the one that took place in Las Vegas, Nevada on October 1st, 2017.